Hello. Just making sure it's working. Yeah, it looks like it. Let me just make sure the sound's working. It looks like it is. But if it's not, I'm sure you guys in the chat will let me know very quickly. So anyway, hello, welcome to a Monday night stream. I did miss the last week. After 2 years, COVID finally got me and I didn't feel like streaming. But I am doing much better now. Obviously got a lot to catch up on. So I guess there's that. But tonight we'll be creating some background characters to be used in chapter 20. And I'll get started shortly, but I'll give people a few minutes to arrive. Because it's nice to have people to talk to here in the chat. If you haven't seen it yet, on the community page it's the Obi-Wan poster. He's going to have a busy week, and it seemed like an appropriate week to release that particular poster. Floopy, hello, and welcome. I hope you're doing well. So one of the things that's happened in since the last time I streamed is iClone 8 and Character Creator 4 have released, and this is what the crowdfunding campaign helped make possible. What helped me use it possible back in November, and now they just released it, so I'll be using that this evening. I've been playing around with it a little bit. Some things have moved and there's more features, so I'm still learning some of the still learning how to use it, and where things have moved to, and all that kind of stuff. The content browser is more organized, but it's not organized the way I liked it before, so it'll take some getting used to. Floopy, I'm glad you like the poster, and yes, you will have to put a moustache on him. I think that's a requirement now. Okay, so the goal for tonight's stream is to create some background characters to populate the city. Now they don't have to be massively detailed, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I just want the city to look alive with a random group of people. And they have to look like Star Wars characters, and preferably not all human. Although some of the Star Wars aliens are quite tricky to create. I wouldn't know how to do a Mon Calamari in this, for example. I know we have Admiral Akbar, but he's a character model that I actually found, and he doesn't animate too well, although this new Character Creator 4 might make that easier, so I'll have to experiment with that, although that won't be tonight's stream. So I've got a few ideas for characters, but I'm also hoping that you guys in the chat will help me out with it as well, with suggestions. So what I'll do is, while we're waiting for people to come, I'll start making one character and then see what happens. So I guess the first thing we need is a body. So the old character creator would give you a template body to start with. The new one gives you nothing, but luckily they're all in here somewhere. Base. Let's go start with a neutral male character. I don't think the loading window appears. It doesn't look like it, but it's loading the character model. So there we go, one base character model. So let's see, what clothes can we give him for that Star Wars look. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy, just so he doesn't look out of place and is wearing a bit more than just those. I'm sure that there are some people who would be quite happy for him to walk around in his underwear, but that's not the look I'm going to go for. And let's see what we got. It seems I haven't downloaded all of the content because the post-apocalyptic pack is missing. Or was it in there? Oh, there it is, yeah. The cantina scene. Some of them will be in the cantina, but before we get to that, there's shots. There's the city as well, so the Falcon's going to land, and then Han and Lando come out, and they're looking across. Because there's this whole scene where they're outside the Falcon going towards the cantina. So I want the place to look like, you know, it's live. Well, that could work for right, some boots. I was wondering how long before Dancing Lobot would get mentioned. I actually already have the Lobot characters, so I don't need to work on that, but I'll see what I can do for you. Well, he's kind of a bounty hunter looking character. Let's see what else. I think he needs... one of those. Maybe? Depends on where it loads on his body. Under his jacket. Okay, we don't need that. Got this one. It would... I do have some plans to hide some things in the crowd, so also on his jacket there, so we won't use that. No, it doesn't matter, he's going to be in the background. I am going to hide some things in the crowds for people to look out for, but obviously I'm not going to say what they are because that kind of defeats the purpose of surprises. Joe Blow, hello and welcome. Give him some hair. And a beard. There we go, one background character. Just saving him. Okay, next character. Let's remove all those outfits and see what else we can come up with. Now somewhere there were I've got these Flippy. I do have a character that looks like me. I haven't updated him for a while. I should have a look at doing that, but there is a character model that looks like me, which I have put in what was it, the Bimasari market. Although in the end he didn't actually look at the camera, so no one's going to realise it was me. Joe Blow. Well, yep, you do have something to look forward to there. It's not a very long chapter, but it does progress the story. The chapter 20 is going to be a long one. I don't have all of the dialogue yet. I'm still waiting for that to be sent in. But that's okay, because I'm still building the content for it anyway, so that's not really a problem. Well, that cat's not mine, so I don't know if I would. Also, I don't really have a cat 3D. I did have one cat, but it wasn't that good as a character model. I forgot I had some of these. Yeah, so sorry, got distracted by missing. Oh, here we go. Some complete outfits here. I wonder if this will work. So yeah, it's not my cat. I don't have a very good cat character model that I think would look that good. Let's change his face, because otherwise he's going to. We're not going to get too close to the background characters, but it still becomes obvious if you're looking at the same. The same character, even from a distance. So that Starbuck piano thing is that wasn't her. It was a piece of software that someone created where you put in some MIDI music and the AI figures out how to animate the character to play the piano to match the music. And I just thought, well, I'll use some Battlestar Galactica music, because if you're going to test something out, like that, where then using music from a TV show about AI getting out of control, then that's the way to go. So it wasn't Katie Sackhoff. Also, I suspect Katie Sackhoff being involved with the Mandalorian and who knows what other Star Wars shows she's going to appear in. Probably in her contract that she can't appear in fan projects, and that's okay. I wouldn't blame her for that, because obviously she's going to get paid a lot more for the official stuff than anything I could give her. I thought I was looking for. Oh yeah, faces. I met Katie as well once. One of my older videos is a Battlestar Galactica parody, so I took it on an iPad to show her when she came to a convention, and she thought it was pretty funny. There's some head sliders. Let's see. What does the Caleb head look like? Nope, Kevin head. The video should still be on my channel. I think it's called Toasters. It was something I made with The Sims as a little Battlestar Galactica parody. It's only about a minute long. If you go and look for it on my channel, and you should be able to find it. Let's give him an athletic look. So this is just changing the skin texture. There. Give him some hair. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. I'm still not quite used to where everything is, so please bear with me as I look through. Not those ones. Let's go with that. 2D storyteller. Sorry, I missed your message there. At the moment, I do have every character cast, but I do appreciate the offer, and I'm glad you enjoy my work. Flippy, I guess we'll find out on Thursday. I saw that they're streaming the big panel, which is going to be the one that talks about all the upcoming video, TV show content. I guess there might be some film news there as well, but I think the focus is going to be on the TV shows. It's going to be on Thursday. I forget the exact time. I think 11 a.m. for when the convention is. But obviously I'm not going to be there, so I believe they're streaming it on the YouTube channel, so we'll be watching to see if we hear anything about Thrawn. I hope we do. Be nice to see what he's going to look like. I don't know if we'll get that far. Actually, this outfit's not very Star Wars looking. I think it's the jeans. What can we do about that? That's more like it. Not sure about the shoes. Yeah, I guess we'll see what they have to say. So I've just loaded up the texture into Paint Shop Pro because I want to change the colour of the shoes without changing the rest of his outfit. So bear with me just a moment because you won't be able to see what is happening. But what I intend to do should not take more than a few seconds. So you're going to be watching the stream to find out if you're going to hear about Thrawn or anything else. Durkle, hello. This is going to be on Abregado Ray. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which, Han and Lando have a little bit of an adventure when they're trying to make contact with cards people. And so there's a city that they land at, and I want the city to look populated. So I'm creating some characters for that, just to be in the background. They're not going to be massively detailed as long as they look like they belong in Star Wars. Floopy celebration time. My time, that would be, I should probably work it out, I believe 7 PM, just in time for dinner. So I'll be watching and eating at the same time. I haven't quite got the result I wanted just yet. Hold on. Almost got it. If you go on the Star Wars website, I think there's a list of all the panels. Okay, now he's done. I was trying to make his shoes not blue. I think that works. So I'll save him. Flippy, yeah, that's fair enough. I guess it's kind of earlier in the day for you, so if you need to work or anything. Will make it hard to watch. But I'm looking forward to it. It's Monday, so yeah, only a few days away. Okay, let's try. Hang on, what's in here? No. Neutral female. Need to have some women walking around as well. It takes a while to load the character models. Okay, there we go. And yes, she is in her underwear. But not for very long. Let's see. Shoes. There are actually some really good outfits in here. Yeah, that looks good. And give us some hair. Let's see what we got to work with. Yeah, so of course we do have celebration, which we were talking about. I'm wondering what else we're going to hear about. I don't know how many of the panels are I don't think all of them are going to be streamed, so it may be a case of you find out about the announcements afterwards. But I'm hoping we get some gaming news, both video games and tabletop. I know that I was going to say Fantasy Flight, but they've moved the Star Wars stuff to another company. I think it's Atomic Games. So hopefully we'll hear from them. I know there's a big Lego panel at Celebration, which includes people who worked on the Skywalker Saga game, which, if they're going to announce more content for that, that would be most welcome, at least for me. especially if they add Thrawn to it somewhere. So fingers crossed they do a Rebels DLC pack with all the Rebels characters, which would of course include Thrawn, and then he'd be a playable character. I suspect that's probably not going to happen because it's a lot of work, but you know, you never know. What hair should I give her? I'm not putting a lot of effort into these characters because they are just going to walk around in the background. Yeah, Flippy, yeah, really would. I want to be able to play as Thrawn. Even if he just has a blaster and isn't particularly skilled at combat, I just want him to be a playable character. Mary James, hello. So Character Creator 4 is created by Real Illusion. It goes alongside iClone, which is the software I used to animate all of the chapters for Heirs of the Empire. So the two software goes side by side, though they're sold separately, because you can just use Character Creator to create the models and then export them for other things. You don't need to use them with iClone. As for the content, the assets, some of the content does come with it, but through the website there's content packs like this hair that we're looking at here. That's a whole content pack. Some of it's made by the company, but there's also people who make it and sell through the site. Like the outfit she's wearing, actually. That's not an official one. That was one that some talented 3D modeler created, and I bought it because I thought it looks nice and sci-fi. And it was one of the outfits I actually considered for Mara Jade at one point, but then I went back more towards her traditional catsuit appearance. There's some free content as well, but mostly it's you have to buy it. But you don't have to buy everything. You just buy what you need. I think if you try to load everything into the software, it would crash. I mean, there's a huge amount of content. There's different hairstyles, there's different clothes, there's props, which I don't really have any of those here. Well, actually, I might not have loaded them all in yet. No, I haven't done that yet. What are they in here? No, they're not. So I only just upgraded to Character Creator 4. I was using Character Creator 3 to start previously. And so I'm still figuring out how it all works, and not all of the content is copied over properly, so I need to, when I find things, I need to figure out how to fix that. So I'm just going to quickly make a note of the weapons being missing, so I can fix that later. Okay. Yes. See, I don't know how much of the stream you caught, but she took about 5 minutes to put together, and I use it for the main characters as well. So Thrawn, Pelion, I obviously spend a lot more time on them, and then for characters like Han, Luke, and Leia, there's a plugin, which I'm not going to go through the whole process, but I'll show you the screen for it. I think it'll come up. Sometimes it's a bit finicky about different windows. Okay, it's not showing up, but it lets you take a photo of someone and it will create a model of a face for the character. By the AI will analyze the photo and create it, and create the face shape and texture and all that kind of stuff. So it's very handy for recreating, those famous characters, because they had to look right, and that was the best way to do it. Because in the early chapters, before that feature existed, I had created them myself, and I'd say the results are a bit mixed. Alright, let me save her. Alright, let's try a different outfit for her. And where's up them? There we go. I'm really glad it made the modifying the characters easy as well. It could take, if it's going to be very time consuming, it would certainly limit the options of what I could do. Right, I'm going to give her different hair. I'm just going to choose that one. Might make the colour different. Go for something darker. Yeah. So you go to modify, and no, you don't. Choose the hair base first, and then go to modify. You get the colour options, which brings up the, when you click on the colour there, it's probably not showing up, but you basically get the Windows colour selection. So you just drag the ones that, drag it to what you want. So quickly do that. Okay, so I've done that for the main. So this hairstyle is split into several different pieces. You've got this top piece here, and then you've got the bun on the back there. So let me quickly change the colour of that one. This is the part of the hair that's hanging down the back there. So let me change the colour of that. Could I create George Lucas and Dave Filoni characters? With a good picture of either of them, I could. So in theory you can use any picture, but in practice the lighting needs to be perfect, because if you have a picture with the light coming from one side of their face, like so you got the shadows like on her, so the light's coming from over here, and you see that there's shadows under her nose and on her neck, when you use a photo with those shadows, what you get is those shadows will be painted onto her face quite permanently. So what you really need is photos where the light's coming from the front, there's no shadows on either side, and the higher quality photo the better, because if you use a low quality photo and it's all grainy or the face is very small, it's not going to know how to add in the details. So all the grain and everything is again going to be painted on the skin of the character, because it doesn't know that that's not meant to be there. Right, the last part is her bangs. There we go. So let me save her. Mary, if you took the photo and mirrored it in Photoshop, that could work. If you try to do it in this software, it would so you mirror the texture as a result of it. I think that would end up not working so well. But if you mirrored the original photo, and yeah, they do have to be looking dead on. That's another thing. If you do a photo of someone looking from the side, it will not work so well. So once you've created the character face model and the texture, you can go and edit it, but it would be easier to mirror the original photo. On the other hand, faces aren't symmetrical, so you may find some oddness. Like Harrison Ford, for example, he's got the scar here, but it's not right in the middle, it's slightly to the side. So if you mirrored his face for this side, let's say you use this side and then mirrored it on here, you'd have the scar here and here. So you need to be careful of details like that. Though in theory you could always edit out the scar on this side. Yeah, Photoshop is the way to do it. But you still need to be careful of those details that are only on one side of the face. Floopy, I did. That's how so in chapter 2, that's basically what I did for Han, Luke and Leia, was to create. I had a default character like this, less detailed because the character creator back then was more primitive. But it works on a similar principle, and so I tried to recreate them as best as I could. But when I look back, I feel like they only have a passing resemblance to the characters they're supposed to be, and Han especially doesn't look great. So I'm glad I've got the photos I did. Was able to create some decent characters for them. Alright, so I've got 4 human characters. Now I need some alien characters. Let me think. It's very easy to change the skin color. But aliens in Star Wars don't tend to look like Star Trek aliens. And when I say Star Trek aliens, I mean, obviously the Star Wars aliens are often human wearing makeup. but Star Trek aliens tend to be very human with lumpy foreheads, whereas the Star Wars aliens are humanoid, but they've got full sort of face masks that make their faces and heads look very different. Which is tricky. I do have a couple of character assets. So I've got Chewbacca, and what's have I got? I can't remember now. And there are some aliens that I've managed to recreate in this. Thrawn's very easy because he is just human with blue skin and red eyes. I did the Nogri because I could modify the shape of the sort of snout and face. Took longer than I was probably going to spend on tonight's stream to do that. Let's see. What I need is one of those. Hold on. I need to look it up. Okay. I'm going to try a Mune. You know, the banking clan guy in Attack of the Clones. The very narrow face, narrow head. I'm going to see if I can do that because he's human looking ish, just a very narrow head, and I think that's possible. So let's clear her out and load up the base character. Somebody X. I think you're right, but I liked the. I do like the. To try and make them as realistic as possible. But yeah, you're right. Though when it's cartoony, there is a sort of stylized element to it, like Rebels and Clone Wars have. They're not photorealistic characters. But yeah, if I was going to go for that look all the way through, then it would. The thing about stylized approaches, though, is you still have to develop a style, and my style is really I've always gone for realism. Hoppy, I'm glad you made it. Somebody X, I'm glad you like my character designs. Mary, yes, tall foreheads, and also, but it's not just their heads are tall; they're very narrow. Gotta see if I can actually do that. The head's slightly wider than the top of the head up here is the skull is wider than the rest of the face. Now there should be options. So we're going to see what we can do. There we go, we're getting there. Right, here they're also squished from the front too. So let's go back to the top. No, it was here, wasn't it? Hedge depth. Wrong way. Okay. Somebody else, I didn't realise you'd made a Star Trek project. You should share it somewhere on my channel so I can have a look if it's available to be seen. Hoppy, yep, you're right about the nose. This is going to be the tricky part because I don't know what all the nose options are. Actually, I believe should be some extra nose creator. Here we go. Well, he's obviously a big liar with a nose like that. Cat shape. I wonder. That. Yeah, that's getting there. Somebody X, I'm glad you like the face so far. If I can't get the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to save him as he is. Because even if I can't get the Mune look right, this looks like a very interesting alien face. Floopy, I know Faramir's uses and they are few. Castle of the Wills, I'm glad you're looking forward to the next chapter. I'm creating some background characters for the next chapter to begin the city and the casino scenes. So I've got a few human characters which we did earlier on in the stream, and now we're working on one of the alien characters. It's actually proven to be a really good test of what can I do with this. Somebody actually does. Doug Jones could play this easily. He'd probably play him well as well. Floopy, that didn't take you long. Okay, so we've got the nose roughly the right shape, but it needs to be flatter against his face. Yeah, the eyebrows are a texture. They can be removed, but it'll be a... Let's get the shape of his face right first. And nose depth. Let's get in there. nose needs to be longer as well, so let's see. So many options. Hoppy, I'm sorry. And the next line, of course, I don't like you either. And then the whole thing about death sentence on 12 systems. You'll be dead. Floopy, how about everyone? I think his nose is too wide at the nostrils. Oops. I do remember that robot chicken skit. That was funny. And yes, Niles Ferrier needs a huge moustache over his huge beard. Nose flat is already set to the highest setting. I think that's about... I've not made a Niles Ferrier character model yet. Anything to do with Dark Force Rising I'm going to leave until closer to the time, because I don't know what this software is going to be capable of by the time we get to it. So I'm not going to worry about making stuff and then have to redo it. Hoppy, yes they do. Lost Fires. That would certainly be one way to wake up. What was I looking for? That. And then... Nope. Yeah. Okay, the next thing is ears. Because they kind of hide into the skull. I'm not even sure I can do that. Oh, it looks like I can. Well, at least partially. That should do. It needs to be lower and smaller. Definitely nightmare fuel. Hopefully not so much when he's actually finished. Oh, yeah. And yeah, Darth Plagueis is immune. Hopefully having him with the Ferengi would be funny. And Mary, yeah, the textures is... I usually say the texture work for last, because it helps to have the shape of the face to work on. Krogan, hello. Right, Hoppy, you'd be surprised what people notice in the background, which is why I tend to enjoy hiding things in the background just to see who does actually notice. We're going to make his mouth a little bit less wide. And then his brow needs to turn down a little bit. There we go. You do need to make his nostril smaller. Lost fires, that's a good point there. That's better. I think that helps as well, because they are quite small in the pictures I'm looking at. I wonder if I can make it even smaller with the other settings. Yeah, that's good. While I'm on the slider settings, Mune's bodies are also very thin, so might be a good idea to do something about that too. And I make them a little bit taller, so character height. Yeah, that's good. Okay. They look tall in the pictures I'm looking at. I don't think they're as tall as Caminoans, but I've given them a bit of extra height. Head should be longer. Yes, you're right. Back to the head. Skull. Jaw. Doesn't want to go lower. If I try here. Oh, that's neck. You have thin necks as well. Sherry, welcome. It's always good to see you. I think that looks good. He's not the actual same Mune that we've seen in Attack of the Clones, so it doesn't matter so much if... he doesn't have to be an exact match for the one that we see in Attack of the Clones, but as long as he's sort of got a passing resemblance, I think people are going to look at him and know what he is. Lost Fires. Yeah, we should all aim for this. Physique. Darth Spidey, I'm glad you've been enjoying Heir to the Empire so far. This is on one of the streams where I show you the making of parts of it. At the moment, creating background characters for Chapter 20 to make the city look more alive. Hoppy, yeah, the eyebrows are part of the texture, which I haven't touched yet. Cats of the Wheels, this appears to be the narrowest I can make his head. I've kind of, as far as the sliders go for the head narrowness, this is about it. I want to make his eyes more squinty. I forget where. There we go. Right. His eyes. Actually, I don't need to. There we go. I think there's no doubt that he's a Mune. So yeah, now I'm going to save him, and then see what I can do about the texture. So I do have some. I don't remember where there's a basic plain skin texture somewhere in here, which is that one. So there's got no detailing or anything, well, not much detailing, the basic stuff there, which makes it easy to modify. So I load up the skin editor. Groucho glasses, granny glasses, and a big cigar. I do enjoy your feedback. Okay, so we've got this. Let's load it up. Switch over to makeup, because for some reason eyebrows are in makeup rather than skin. And turn it off. I think I need to make his eyebrows, his actual brows stick out more. So I'll go back to that after I finish the editing the texture. So let's go back to skin base. Now they're kind of greyish colour. So let's see. Well, that was easier than expected. Mouth colour. Oh, that's inside the mouth. And where's the lips? Ah, red lips. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it's got that sort of greyish brown tinge. Dark lips. I think he needs darker areas around his eyes. So in the makeup section, Voldemort would definitely be jealous of that nose. There's a good story about, I heard it at Celebration in London, when was it? 15 years ago? I can't remember the exact year. Anyway, Ian McDiarmid was there, and he came on stage to do this talk outside the venue, and I was there, lucky enough at the time to be there when he came on, and he talked about getting the part of the Emperor, and I think it wasn't George Lucas, but it was a producer or someone there said, looked at him and said, excellent nose for the villain. Obviously, at the time, villains needed big noses, And then he made a joke saying, well, now with Voldemort, the villains have no nose. He's obviously quite entertained by that. Hoppy, I'm sure Floopy will do something about that. Right, I want... darker eyes. So give him this eye makeup. There we go. I'm really proud of this guy. And he's not even dressed or anything yet, but we'll do that last. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to set the texture to not change it at all, actually, because it doesn't need to be higher than that. Deactivate the editor. This will take a moment to process. Just let that run. And it's done. Right, saving him. Alright, so I need to make his brow a little more pronounced. So not that way. Looks like he gets his kicks stealing children's cereal. You know, I haven't figured out what I'm going to make him do, but maybe I could have him do that. I could probably not, because that's the kind of thing that would attract a lot of attention. But just imagining it for a moment. Sherry, I'm sorry you can't stay, although I don't know how much longer I'll be streaming anyway. Thank you for coming. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Floopy, I'm looking forward to seeing what they've done with it. I'm going to watch it in the morning to avoid spoilers. So I'll watch it when I have breakfast. Yeah, I think I'm happy with his face there. So obviously he needs some clothes. And since this is a background character, I'm not going to worry too much about spending a lot of time on his clothes. But full body, got some robes. Let's go with the blue, because I can change the colour. Lost Fires, I don't think it can do sideways blinking. I was surprised he said he hadn't watched the Rebels 2. It's an unusual acting choice. Not to look to see what the character's done before. Yeah, he does look really good. I'm really pleased with him, and I'm glad that you guys helped me figure out all the details. So thank you. He needs some pants. Or trousers, as we say here. And some boots. I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube for having him be free. Okay, trousers for him, boots for him, and I think he's done. Yeah, he looks so good too. I can't wait to see him walking around the streets. Lost Fires, I know. I know you guys were kidding. Actually, getting rid of the boxes is a good idea now that he's covered up. Oh yeah, the belt's sticking through. Didn't notice that. Hold on. Little trick to solve that is just to shrink it, and then it's hidden. Mary, thank you for spotting that. My tired brain hadn't. That's the thing about creating a character like this. Initially he's just meant to be a background character, but he looks so good I want to do more with him than that. But there isn't really a place for him in the story. Or is there? Actually, there might be. Yeah, I better save him. Because I don't want to lose this hard work, because he looks so good. Yeah, I'm very happy with him. So that's 5 characters done. Obviously I need more than that, but it's getting late, so I'm going to stop here and get some sleep. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your feedback, especially on this guy. I just pointed at the screen, you can't even see me doing it. Yeah, thank you. This is why I like doing the streams and getting your input, because then you get things like this come along. And I can't wait to put him into the scene somewhere and you get to see him walking around and doing things. Yeah. So, again, thank you, everyone. Mary, yeah. The one in Attack of the Clones, even though the film's live action, because he is CGI and so heavily CGI, he looks cartoony. So I think this is, I think you're right. This is a more live action version of him, of a Mune. So yeah, good night, everyone. May the Thrawn be with you. For those of you who are going to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, and I guess we'll discuss it next time. So see you then, and enjoy the show and enjoy whatever comes out of Celebration 2. May the Thrawn be with you.